What's up, Boston? Honestly, this was the most nervous I've ever been for a fight. In my eyes, Aljamain Sterling is the best bantamweight of all time. So yeah, I was a little bit nervous for this fight, but I never lost the confidence because I know what I possess in this right hand, baby!
A change of the guard is an absolutely common thing for fighting and any other kind of sport. Not that long ago, we witnessed the rise of a new star of the bantamweight division, Sean O'Malley. The world's best league gave this guy a chance despite all the doubts and arguments, and in the end, Sugar Show did not let them down. He became the new champion after knocking out Funkmaster out in the second round. And to about the likes, comments with 4 words and subscribe to the channel. Here we go.
Sean O'Malley, I'm fighting out Team Proving Grounds in Helena, Montana.
Even though the future superstar of the world's best league began to perform already in 2013, the professional journey of Sugar, if we believe the information on Wikipedia, started 2 years later, to be exact, in March of 2015. Unfortunately, it's impossible to find the very first performances of Sugar Show on the internet, but it's highly likely that those fights were simply not recorded on camera. So, we have to limit ourselves only to text information from open access. The debut appearance of O'Malley in the professional league took place on March the 6th at Intense Fighting Championship organization. His first opponent was the American fighter Josh Reyes. If we believe the internet, he lasted for 1 minute and 33 seconds, after which Sean sent him into oblivion via TKO. Then he returned 4 months later and fought Shane Sargent, whom he dispatched in just 2 minutes and 3 seconds, this time by a clean and unconditional knockout. In the same year of 2015, the young Sugar had 2 more fights, but they resulted in his victory by a submission choke and a unanimous decision. During that period, he had time to break into the flyweight division, but soon he moved back. Then he decided to try his luck in professional boxing, and in July of 2016, he competed against David Courtney, whom he beat via TKO in just 2 minutes and 59 seconds from the start of the bout. After that, in October, he came out to have his 5th professional fight in the same IFC, where he faced Tyson Lin. The fight was held in Montana, and already back then, the local crowd warmly greeted and supported a just incipient Sugar Show. Everything started rather vigorously. The fighters exchanged strikes, actively shot out with kicks, and tried to find a key to victory in every given sequence. Despite a competitive fight from both parties, the initiative and bigger confidence was coming from Sean. He acted a lot more courageously than his opponent, not being afraid to land shots and knowing how to react to a potential counterattack. Moreover, O'Malley tried to act more creatively and diversely, which often bothered Tyson Lin. The latter, realizing the threat of Sugar's stand-up, attempted to take the fight to the lower level a couple of times. However, he couldn't hold his vis-a-vis there for too long. In the end, the first round was in favor of our hero. The next 5 minutes generally unfolded in the same manner, but now Sean began to utilize boxing combinations more actively. He constantly looked for an opportunity to land a hard shot and wobble Tyson, both with attacks and counterattacks. Lin felt a lot less confident, due to which he got confused and simply missed shot after shot. At a certain moment, he went for a takedown attempt again. At first, he pressed Sean to the fence and did his best to hold him. As we could see, such a tactic did not work, because Sugar got back to his feet, immediately stunned his opponent, and went for a finish. At first, he managed to survive as O'Malley gave him an opportunity to get up, but when it happened, it became clear that he wouldn't last for long. Not thinking too much on how to finish the job, Sugar Show threw a right high kick, knocked Tyson down, and made him count the stars with an accurate shot. The 5th win in a row, and already a 3rd knockout in the professional career. The next appearance of Sean O'Malley in the bright lights happened in March of 2017 at Beatdown 20. As the prospect stated himself, it was a short notice fight when Sugar shared the cage with a fighter named Irvin Velos. By the way, the recording of this fight was available in the form of a video thanks to Sean, who uploaded his reaction to the fight on his YouTube channel. This time everything was over a lot faster and didn't get outside of the first round. Sean actively moved around the cage, abruptly switched stance and floated around his opponent like a butterfly, to a certain moment sting his opponent like a true battle bee. And actually, such a moment happened already in the middle of the round when a precise right hand from OMalley reached its target and sent Irvin into the Shadow Realm after a symbolic finish of 2 strikes. Another vivid knockout.
No one even knows about this fight, hardly. Boom. Straight murder. Boom. I was playing Call of Duty a lot of the time, so I had to pull out my guns and shoot the shit out of him. Watch this. I lift him off his feet.
Already on May the 5th, Sugar Show delivered another highlight at LFA 11. OMalley's opponent was a fighter known as David Nuzo. And getting a little bit ahead, we will tell you that this knockout is one of the favorites of Sean himself.
What up? What up? Sugar's place. Here's his pups. No. That's the nice thing about fighting in your hometown is you get to sleep in your own bed and you get to eat your own foods and don't have to look for a ride to the store or hoping they have a Whole Foods or a Sprouts or a Trader Joe's. You have it all here, so after you make weight, you can eat the right foods and not have to eat a bunch of crap.
Sugar Sean OMalley.
This battle began with a mutual durability check of chins and other body parts. Both fighters tried to return the favor after every thrown kick or a vicious punch. At first, Nuzo was keeping up with the younger and charged vis-a-vis in terms of landed strikes. However, half a minute later, he ate a flush high kick to the head and got knocked down.
Oh, the head kick!
This happened to be a breaking point because subsequently, after such a severe concussion, he lost all focus and began to miss. On the contrary, Sugar started to land more and more and soon dropped him again with a quick and technical left hand. After that, it was a matter of seconds as a brilliant spinning wheel kick landed flush and separated Davis's body from consciousness. Another highlight and a 7th consecutive victory.
All right, Sugar Sean OMalley, you predicted that you were going to come up with a knockout tonight. Not just a knockout, but a knockout that was going to go viral. I think you might have accomplished that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting, is a knockout like that. Yeah, I knew I was going to be way faster than him. And I knew if he took me down, I was going to choke his neck anyway, so.
7 wins in a row, 6 of which are stoppages, and 5 of which are clean knockouts and TKOs. It was more than enough for Sugar Show to get noticed by the world's best league and Dana White in particular. At Dana White's Contender Series, OMalley was supposed to face Alfred Khashakian.
I'm Sean OMalley. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I train out of the MMA lab. I got involved in fighting when I was 15 years old. I liked boxing a lot, so I started working with a boxing coach, and I just started from there. Boxing, went to kickboxing. Then when I turned 18, I started MMA. What makes me exciting to watch is my style. I come out, I'm spinning, I'm setting stuff up, and I'm knocking dudes out, I'm putting them away. I'm on a 3-fight KO streak. I'm having fun in there, I really am. I'm happy in there, I love it in there. With this opportunity, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna knock this kid out. He's similar to the last 3 guys I fought. He's an orthodox striker, he's too slow. I'm gonna come out there, bounce in front of him, his confidence is gonna go down, I'm gonna kick him in the body, I'm gonna kick him in the head, and the fight's gonna be over in 2 rounds. Then I'm gonna knock this dude out in spectacular fashion, and you're gonna want him signed.
Having a record of 7-3, Khashakian couldn't create a single dangerous situation for a young prospect, and for the most part of the first round, only blocked flying strikes with his face and other body parts. It was all over in 4 minutes and 14 seconds, and in an extremely spectacular and convincing fashion. Sean threw Sugar Show a ticket to the world's best league.
With a huge right hand, brings down.
I'm looking for somebody who has that thing.
What is that thing?
Sean OMalley is that thing. He's the guy.
I just want to keep getting better, keep training, just keep getting better. I love to fight. I mean, they'll give me who they give me. I knew if I put on a performance, I'd probably get signed. I'm on a 4-fight KO streak, like knockout. So this is awesome.
In December of 2017, Sugar Show officially debuted in the UFC. After that, it showed itself to the world in March of 2018, and both fights ended with a unanimous decision victory in favor of the young prospect. Then, Sugar disappeared from the radars of the major organization for 2 years and came back into the promotion only at UFC 248 to fight the Brazilian Jose Quinones.
He's got jiu-jitsu tattooed on his chest, so I think it kind of gave it away what his game plan is. But we'll see who's more Mexican. We'll see who's going to stand and bang. So I know, obviously everyone knows what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try to go out there and knock him out. I think he's going to go in and try to pressure me. If he can pressure me. He was getting backed up by a dude who was like 5'3" in his last fight. So if that dude could back him up and land shots, it's going to be a long and short night for him. But he's going to try to pressure me up against the cage and take me down and get me in a body lock. That's kind of his style. But even if it goes to the ground, I'm extremely confident on the ground, but I'd like to keep it standing and knock him out.
Sean O'Malley's return after a 2-year layoff showed the whole world an upgraded version of Sugar, who presented even more threat than before. He dispatched the Brazilian in just 122 seconds, beating him via a devastating TKO already in the first round.
I definitely had envisioned that, standing there talking to Joe a lot, and I just let myself kind of just feel it all and let it all in, and it felt good.
3 months later, Sugar Sean returned to the octagon. At UFC 250, he clashed with the veteran in the face of Eddie Wineland, who, by the way, was a former WEC Bantamweight champion and a contender for the interim gold.
How's you embedded?
We said yes to a bunch of guys, and I think a bunch of guys said no. And thankfully, Eddie said yes for June 6th. I think they say no because they saw the improvement in his last fight. They saw him literally not even breathing out of his mouth at all. Didn't even break a sweat. And El Teco, he was 5-1 in the UFC. He was a good fighter. And they see Sean knocking people out with his left hand, his right hand, his left leg, his right leg. And now they see the jiu-jitsu he's got and the training he's getting. I don't know, I think they don't want to look stupid because everyone he's been fighting lately, he makes them look stupid.
This time, a formidable knockout artist needed less than 2 minutes to get the job done in a clean and professional manner. O'Malley knocked Eddie Wineland out with the same shot from the Contender Series and once again drew attention to his persona.
I've said it and I'll say it again, I think I have the best striking in MMA. I know it sounds silly because I haven't fought that many guys, but I'll continue to do this throughout my career. I really do believe I have the best striking in MMA.
Then, the future champion suddenly suffered his first defeat, losing to Marlon Vera via TKO. Despite that, the contender did not despair and returned to the winning path on March the 27th of 2021. At UFC 260, he collided with Thomas Almeida, whose record was twice as big as Sugar Sean's.
It depends how I win. I go out there and win a decision. Doesn't say much. I go out there and put his lights out the way I put out Eddie's lights.
In the fight with an experienced Brazilian, O'Malley showed his endurance, while Almeida his chin and toughness. Even though the fight lasted till the third round, another sequence from Sugar Show delivered another highlight. Closer to the end of the final round, the prospect who already dominated the entire distance ultimately finished an opponent with a flashy KO.
Yeah, I definitely have gotten a lot of hate. I still get so much, like, every time I go live on Twitch, there's clown emotes, like people call me a clown and stuff. So yeah, I wasn't really used to dealing with too much hate. But I also know like the people that are doing that, like they're probably dealing with some stuff mentally. There's not anybody that's doing real good in life that's coming on there saying talking shit. So it hasn't really affected me too much. But it would be nice to go out there and prove the stupid people that they are stupid. That I think people that are intelligent and understand skills look at me and see what I've done and go, he's legitimate. He's got legit skills.
On July the 10th, Sean O'Malley came out to fight Chris Mutino. Yeah, that guy with bright green hair. He got him as an opponent exactly right at UFC 264.
Well, that guy said that Ronda was even doing something with ESPN, and
all the analytics and data shows that I'm the star of the show. I don't know if he went. I mean, that's what he said. So I mean, I know Conor versus Dustin's obviously the biggest fight, but dude, people are just excited for me to go out there.
Chris Martino distinguished himself with the same chin durability as Almeida. He took Sean's best shots that kept on pouring like a devastating storm for 14 minutes and 33 seconds. In the end, Herb Dean stopped his beating at the very end of the bout, noticing that the bloody face of a green-haired guy completely stopped to fight back.
Chris is a tough. He took this fight on 11 days notice when a lot of people in the UFC wouldn't even take it. Chris is a bad.
Sean O'Malley managed to close the year of 2021 with another firework on December's tournament UFC 269. He faced another Brazilian named Rolian Paiva, who prior to facing Sugar was on a streak of 3 victories and an overall record of 21-3.
You know, going through that last fight shows that I can, you know, I'm not going to get tired beating someone up. So if he wants to get beat up for 15 minutes, I'm down. I also I'm not overlooking Paiva. I have to go out there Saturday night and perform the way I'd perform, and I have to put his lights out. It can't be a boring fight. If it's a boring fight, you know, I don't really have any say in what's next. I go out there and put Paiva's lights out. I can call out, you know, Yanez or whoever I want. But
quite expectedly, Rolian Paiva couldn't last even one complete round. As charged and as always focused, Sugar convincingly beat his opponent up on the feet, wobbled him on multiple occasions, and got the job done via TKO, beating the Brazilian to a pulp against the fence.
I do not want to. I fought 3 times last year, 3 times this year. I feel like every day I just have the fight coming up. So I'm just gonna enjoy this and try to not book a fight and just enjoy being with my family and my little princess. And you know, I'm sure I'll fight in March, April. Who will it be? I don't know. It doesn't really matter as long as the Sugar Show is fighting. I don't really think people care too much who I'm fighting.
1.5 years later, we witnessed the last ever Vescent knockout from Sean O'Malley. During that period, he had time to enter the main octagon twice, first with Pedro Munoz, the fight with whom resulted in a no contest, and Piotr Jan himself, who lost to our hero via split decision. And in August of 2023, the World's Best League announced a title fight against the undisputed Bantamweight champion in the face of Aljamain Sterling.
I think for sure I'm being a little bit underestimated, but I also understand how good Aljo is. For me, I'm going in there with the mindset of do not let this dude grab you. It's kill or be killed. I don't want him to grab me. I want my wrestling defense to hold up so I don't even have to. People ask me, do I want to go out there and prove that I can, you know, I'm good at jiu-jitsu? Like, no, not really. I want to go out there and prove that I can knock this dude out. I'm preparing for 5-5s and preparing for a grueling match, but I don't want this dude to get close enough to take me down. I don't want to get my back up against the fence. That's what my mindset is going into this fight. I have that same feeling going into this fight. Aljamain Sterling's the best bantamweight the UFC's ever known. He's in his prime. He's 33, I think, somewhere around there. That's pretty much prime age right now. All the male UFC champions are in their 30s. He's the best grappler in the division. I'm a striker. This is a striker versus grappler matchup, so it's exciting. It gets me excited. I want to go out there and prove people wrong. My last fight, everyone thought I was going to lose that fight, and then when I won the fight, it just made people so mad. I like that. For whatever reason, I like that. So for me to go out there and be a huge underdog again against Aljamain, you know, it's a weird addiction.
The main event of UFC 292 is still widely discussed in the fighting industry, and there are legit reasons for that. Despite all the wild guesses, talks and overall underestimations from the majority of the community, Sean O'Malley shocked the world with his performance. He didn't miss a single takedown from the dominant champion in the first round, and in the beginning of the second, shut his lights off with a sharp and surgical shot. Putting his name among the best fighters of the current generation.
So the judges, all 3 scored it for him, 10-9.
What did they score the second round?
What do you think about the fact that Sean O'Malley is the new UFC Bantamweight champion? And do you think that Sugar Show will stay at the top for long? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the new videos. And hit the like button if you enjoyed this one. See you soon.